Coming to you this day from the third floor of the Rhode Island State House, my name is Dave Barber. We call this segment simply Capitol Spotlight. We put the spotlight on a member of the General Assembly and discuss some of the things they've been working on and how it may impact you, the Rhode Island citizen. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a gentleman who we've talked to many times, the Honorable State Representative Jay Edwards. Representative, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave. Good to be back.
And it's a particularly busy day here today because the Senate will be voting in a few minutes on the marriage equality legislation.
So and a lot of they vote the right way, Dave.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's certainly a lot of activity here, and you're seeing democracy at its very best.
Oh yes, this is a good day for Rhode Island.
Well, now listen, I know you've been concerned, you've talked to us in the past about the tolls that are being talked about on the Sakonnet River Bridge. Can you bring us up to date on that as to what's happening? I know the court's made some decisions. It may not be looking so good for the citizens getting away from this toll.
Well, right today, the Federal Highway Administration acknowledged that they are going to approve the toll. And from what I understand, that's just one of the obstacles they have to get by. Tomorrow in the House Finance Committee, we have a hearing on one of my pieces of legislation, which would actually repeal the transfer of the Sakonnet River Bridge from the Turnpike and Bridge Authority and put it back under Rhode Island DOT. Now, if that is successful, there was not going to be a toll on the bridge because the Turnpike and Bridge Authority is the only entity that can actually toll in the state of Rhode Island.
Yeah, and so that's really a kind of a technicality because they had to get that ownership transferred in order to move forward and try to get the tolls on. Obviously, a lot of people that you represent don't want to see that happen.
The vast majority of the people I represent. In fact, I hit 4,000 live households when I was canvassing this past election. And in all those people, I only hit one person in the entire area who was actually for the tolls, and I think he was a transplant from New Jersey.
Well, listen, none of us like to pay more taxes. None of us like to pay additional tolls. But what do you say to the person? Give me your elevator speech, if you will, to the person that says, well, these bridges and infrastructure do need maintenance. We need to keep them safe. It's important to our citizens that they be safe and well maintained. We got to get the money somewhere.
And that's a valid argument, Dave. The contra argument to that would be that if you wanted to secure funding for the maintenance of just the Sakonnet River Bridge, if they were to do that with the number of trips they say they have, the toll over that bridge for each individual trip would be 8 cents. Instead, it's going to be 75 cents for residents with a Rhode Island Easy Pass and up to five and a quarter for people who don't have an Easy Pass and have to send a ticket to. All that extra money is going to go to the other bridges. So in effect, the people who use the Sakonnet on a day in and day out basis are going to be funding and supporting the other bridges. If that's the case, then that's a clear thing that the state of Rhode Island as a whole should be supporting all of our bridges, as we do with the Sakonnet River Bridge, the I-Way, the Barrington Bridge. There are 800 bridges in the state, and only one of them right now is tolled, and they're looking to put a toll on the second one, and guess where that is? It's in the East Bay, in Newport County. That toll is implemented, it's going to have a very devastating effect on our economy and on the state as a whole because we'll be returning less sales tax, our unemployment's going to go up, and because of that, we're going to be generating less revenue for the state as a whole. So the state as a whole is going to feel the pinch.
Now, Representative, so are you telling me this is all going to boil down as to what happens in the House Finance?
I think what's going to happen is we have to have a really good showing from the residents tomorrow. If they do their job, then hopefully myself and my colleagues from the East Bay can do our job with the Speaker and the rest of the leadership team and see if we can get something generated here, find some money elsewhere in the budget to support the Pell and the Mount Hope and keep the Sakonnet River Bridge toll-free as it has been since colonial times.
Well, listen, I know your constituents are wishing you good luck with that. I want to thank you so much for taking time right before session to talk with us. I wish you and your colleagues in the House the very best.
Thank you very much, Dave. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's always good talking with Representative Edwards. We hope you enjoyed it. We couldn't do it without you. For Capitol Television, I'm Dave Barber.